Hello, and welcome back to Cape Corner, where we explore the history, story, and cultural impact of a different character or group every episode. I'm Blue,
And I'm Jordan.
and in a strange twist, I am much more energetic than you today.
Is that meant to mean that you really liked what you watched?
Huh? No. Well, I mean, yes, but no, not specifically because of that. I did a Halloween party yesterday, and
Oh, yes.
uh I dressed up as Joker from Persona 5, and
Hmm.
I had a little skit where I was like, um, welcome, everybody. I'm Joker, the leader of the Phantom Thieves. I have infiltrated this palace and stolen its greatest treasure. Behold, and I had a bucket full of like primo candy, and
Oh,
um,
that's fun.
and so I was like, I share this with all of you. Take, and they would take some candy, and they would like go through a tour throughout the house that I'm living in, and different rooms would have like different people doing different skits. One was a married couple where the husband was a cop, and he's like, "Have you seen this person?" Was holding up a printout of his wife in a burglar outfit, and she would just sneak around the house outside. And when they found her, she would bribe them with chocolate coins.
That's adorable.
Yeah, so that was pretty fun. Um, and
Are the pics of the Halloween costume on the Discord?
yeah, that was the costume that I wore. I those pics are from like a week or two ago when I was first testing
Okay.
out my costume. Um, but uh, they took video of the tour, so I'm in it.
Ooh,
So
that's
maybe
cool.
at some point I'll share that.
That would
Uh,
be very cool.
yeah, it was fun. I wound up because like we did it two times. One for the really little kids that were like 5 and 6 or whatever, and then a second time for some of the older kids that were like 10 and 11. Um, and then some of the adults who like were at their stations and whatnot were like, we kind of want to know what this tour is like too. So we did a third impromptu adult tour. So it's like people would come to my station, I did my bit, and then as soon as it was over, I just joined in with the tour and we kept going.
That's fun.
Yeah. Uh, it people were drinking and partying, the adults. So at one point, my friend went to scare everybody by slapping the door, and
Mhm.
he busted the glass out of the door's window.
Oh no.
And somebody was like, "That's some damn good special effects." And then somebody else was like, "No, he broke the window, man." And we all just had to stop for a little bit and sweep up the glass. Uh, um, it was fun. It was a very good time. And then after all that, I changed my clothes and I went out. And I don't drink, but I hung out with everybody else, and it was very
Mhm.
fun. I don't really socialize a lot, and they know that like I don't, and that after spending some time with them, I like to go back into my little hidey hole. But I spent a good
Mhm.
amount of time with them. I was out there for probably like 3 or 4 hours before I went to bed around midnight, and they apparently stayed up close till 4. So
Wow.
yeah. So by the time they were all leaving and going to bed was around the same time that I woke up. Oh yeah, I don't think I mentioned that on the recording. I woke up at like 4 in the morning and I stayed up until like 8:30, and then I went back to sleep for like another hour and a half.
Your sleep schedule would kill me.
Well, it's not like I planned. Like I woke up at 4 and I tried going back to sleep, but I just had too much energy. It's not usual for me. Again, as I've described before, normally if I get anything less than 8 hours, I'm tired and I'm grumpy.
Yeah.
But I'm fine right now.
Nice.
It might also be because I was eating candy, so who knows?
That could
But
be. That
sugar,
really that helps boost your energy a bunch.
sugar and caffeine don't really affect me that much, so I think it must have been more the energy of me just spending time with people and having fun.
That makes sense.
All right, all that out of the way. Um, Today we are going to be talking about. Uh, I, okay, anytime that we talk about like a specific like movie or franchise or whatever, I still try to do it in the Cape Corner format, as a character. So
Yeah,
I'm not going to say today we're talking about Hocus Pocus. I'm going to say today we're talking about the Sanderson sisters.
well played.
Uh-huh. But yes, we are talking about Hocus Pocus.
Both of them?
Yeah, both. I watched them both.
Awesome.
Um, I know Hocus Pocus is like a modern classic to watch every Halloween, right?
Yeah.
I had not seen it for probably about 25 years.
I
Because I
had
know
never seen it at all until this year.
really, I know I saw it as a kid. Um, and okay, I'm not going to try to jump the gun constantly, but I got to say real quick, I appreciate the second movie for calling out the first movie on an issue that it had, where it's a kids movie where they talk about virginity a lot.
Constantly to an uncomfortable degree.
Like an adult will look at a 16-year-old boy and be like, "You're a virgin, kid?" Like, yes, motherfucker, he's a child. Back off.
It's hard to put into words how weird that is.
Yeah,
It's
but
just very unsettling, that whole movie. I don't know why they did that.
well, that's
I'm
because
glad the second one kind of addressed it.
in the 90s they were much more comfortable with like weird like sexual shit. Um,
Yeah.
like we
Um,
started in like the 2000s with like the real advent of the internet era being like, hey, maybe we should acknowledge that this is kind of fucked up, right? Like, but they weren't
yeah.
there yet.
Yep. It's really the only thing I don't like about the first one, I think.
I
Otherwise, I love it.
Okay, I feel like I probably need to rip this band-aid off because I know that Hocus Pocus is a classic, and here's
Mm-hmm.
my thing. I feel like a
This is
lot
going to
of
be
you
fun.
are like, not you specifically, Jordan, because you only just watched it this year, but I feel like a lot of people out there um have some nostalgia blindness to it. Um, I'd give it like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, see,
and
you also have to keep in mind that absent nostalgia blindness, I have fandom optimism blindness, which is
that's
just I tend to love everything I see unless I have a very specific problem with it.
Here's the thing: 6 out of 10 is still in the upper five, right?
Yeah.
It's not in the lower five. So I don't think it's a bad movie. I do think it's kind of mid, and I will explain why. Um,
Mid.
the Yeah, you got a fucking problem.
No, no, I've just been amused at the omnipotence of the word, not omnipotence, omnipresence of the word mid in
Well,
recent times.
you can consider me omnipotent. That's fine. It won't bother me.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Thank you. I am your god now. Um, but here's the thing. The Sanderson sisters really make that movie. They Because the kids don't.
They do,
Um,
yeah. They are the main characters, even though they're the antagonists.
yeah, Danny is the best of the kids. She's got a good personality. She tries to be active, but is not like fucking infallible for a child like
Mm-hmm.
Justin.
Yes.
Um, she only really did one thing in that movie that I was like, "What the fuck are you doing, Danny?" And that was when
Which thing
like
is that?
the Max, her brother, was very rightfully and complaining at a very level um, way, not like screaming his head off or anything. Like, you embarrassed me in front of half the kids in school, and
Yeah.
she like fucking like stomped away and flopped down on a hay bale and started crying. And I'm like, you little fucking drama queen. He like I understand that like you have this like um it's not a worship. What You have this like respect for your big brother, and you
Mm-hmm.
sometimes blind yourself to the situation. But you were very much like, my brother will fight you, and you didn't like make sure he was cool with that first. Um,
Yeah, that was a bad move.
yeah. So though I should say, I think Max is a pussy because it's two guys. It's not like a gang of five, like what fucking Bastion dealt with in the Neverending Story 3.
Yeah.
I believe you would get killed by those guys, especially because they're all 30.
Hmm.
They're 30-year-old high schoolers
Hmm.
with Jack Black leading the charge. But this was two guys, and one of them is like borderline pleasant. And the other has fucking ice shaved into the back of his head
Yeah.
and wears a fedora.
Yeah. These are just an absolute joke of a duo of people.
So for you to roll over and be like, yeah, take my shoes, is like in Pokemon terms, if Ash was just like, oh no, Team Rocket said they're gonna take my Pikachu. I guess I better give them up. No, beat their ass like you always do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't feel like Max had much of an arc. I thought there was going to be a lot more focus on him like being brave and whatnot, but it it really just sort of like happened. We didn't really see anything of it. It's just, oh, witches are attacking. I'm going to yell at them now, and then that was just kind of the way he was. I'm like, I don't know that that jives with what we were presented, where he's afraid of two fucking bumbling losers. But he's getting electrocuted by these witches, and he's still standing up to them. Like, I understand, like in a life or death situation, it sort of brings that out of you, but
Hmm.
they didn't really focus on that as a character beat. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, that's fair
Does that
enough.
make sense? What I'm saying? I feel like I'm not wording it right.
No, I get you. That makes sense.
Okay. And then okay, fucking Allison. Here's my problem. She feels like the ultimate distillation of every white girl love interest from 90s movies. Um, she is the same as the girl from Small Soldiers. She is the same as the girl from Clock Stoppers.
Hmm.
Um, she's like, hey, so I'm not, really like the other girls. Like, I'm very pretty, I'm very attractive, but like, I don't
Hmm.
really like have an ego about it, and I'm not really about what like these frumpy old people are about. Like this party, right? It's kind of boring, and I kind of like the intellectual things. And like I don't really get aggressive, but when show up, I will be like, hey, you, in a very like monotone way, and maybe swing a bat once or twice, but I won't really do too much. I'm still gonna rely on you to like protect me, and I will definitely throw myself at the first incredibly mediocre white boy who does literally anything against the antagonist, no matter how ineffective he is. And uh that will be my existence at that point.
Yep. That's exactly. Yeah. No notes. You nailed it.
Yeah, that's like, I know, like I said, a lot of movies in that era had the love interest not be a real character, but she felt especially egregious to me. Because it wasn't even like there was anything unpleasant about her that I could hone in on. She was just kind of there. Um,
Yeah.
but like I said, at least Danny had like some imperfections, and I was like, yeah, you feel like a character. Um, and
That's
Mac,
something that I think the second movie does a lot better.
I
I like
agree.
the kids so much more as actual characters with
They
arcs
have
who do
they have an
things.
actual internal conflict. Like the only conflict in the group in Hocus Pocus 1 is that Danny and Max were arguing in the beginning. But
Yeah.
as soon as the bad guys show up, that shit is squashed. They are 100% on the same page for the rest of the movie.
Mhm.
And Allison is again a fucking paper cardboard cutout of a human being. So she's like, I'll do whatever. Like she serves the purpose that they wrote her for, right? She's pretty,
Yeah.
but nothing more than that. So I'm just
Yep.
like,
That's about it.
um, okay, and okay, we mentioned this already. There's a weird focus on virginity because I understand I understand that the the spell is specifically like the black flame candle needs to be lit by a virgin on Halloween night under a full moon. And
Yeah.
he lit it and it
Very,
worked.
very classic spell shit.
Yeah. And so like, I understand if there's like a beat where people are like, hey, so you lit that and it worked. So, and he's just like, look, I don't want to talk about it. Like, if it was that, I'd be like, okay, that's kind of funny, right? But because that is like an insecurity for teenage boys. I get that.
This is fucking everyone they run into in the whole movie.
Danny is like 8, and she's talking to a police officer, and a virgin lit the candle, and then she's like, he's a virgin, and I'm just like, Danny, first of all, why do you know what that is? And second of all, why would you out your brother so much?
Danny should not care what that concept means.
And then that not cop was like, "Are you a virgin, kid?" And I'm just like, "You fucking adult man, why is that?"
Which I kind of read as creepily like, I mean, come on, dude, you're too hot to be a virgin.
No,
it's like, no, leave this kid alone.
Max is a 5 out of 10 if I've ever seen one. He is the most average white boy I've seen in one of these movies.
He is, but I feel like that's what the cop was implying.
No, I think he was just like, oh, come on, you're old enough, you should have banged somebody by now. What are you, fucking loser? Like that judge.
Very weird. Very weird stuff to put into this
like
movie.
When I say the Sanderson sisters make the movie, I'm like, Danny is the best of the kids, but even she's fairly good. Like, she's not great.
If this were a movie about any standard just kind of horror movie monster creature and the story was these 3 kids, the movie would be
extremely incredible. Yeah. But what I was going to say is even the side characters in the movie aren't that great, but the only side characters that really did stick with me are that fake cop who's just an asshole as he leaves with his girl. And he's like, they thought I was a real cop. I
liked the parents. The parents were funny.
I was going to say specifically just the dad when he has a moment where Max runs in and he's like doing his whole Dracula bit. And he's talking to suck your blood, and then Max is like, "Listen to me, something's happened," and he immediately drops that shit. He's like, "Danny, where's Danny?" And he's like, "No, it's Danny's fine." And he's just like, "Oh, okay, good." I was like, "Okay, I appreciate."
Yeah, that was a nice moment. That was nice.
That's a very realistic parent thing. When one of your 2 kids that were together runs in and says something happened, you're like, "What happened to the other one?"
Yeah.
Didn't care for the mom. Her bit of like gesturing to her pointy titties and like, I'm Madonna, right? I look like Madonna.
That's fucking
like, hey, get it. You're insecure. Shut up.
But I do really like them thinking that their kids are having fun in this like play, I guess, that they think is going on when the Billy the zombie comes after them and they're like, oh, I wish we had a camera.
Yeah. God.
I love it. I actually really like that beat.
Yeah. The only other side character that aside from Billy, I was reminded about Billy, and I do
love Billy.
Was the weirdly horny bus driver.
Oh yeah, what the fuck?
You remember? He just sees the Sanderson sisters. He's like, "Oh, it's 3."
And all 3 of them, he's like, "I'm in."
Sarah, he's horny for every one of those bitches, and he's got Sarah.
He's going to try to pick up all 3 of them if he can.
Yeah, exactly. And like they're leaving, he's like, "Don't I at least get your number or something?" And I was like,
"Oh my god, that was fun."
Good on that guy for not just objectifying Sarah. He's like, it's a trio. I'm going to be horny for the whole trio. Which I guess we should now start talking about the Sanderson sisters. Okay, as far as their story, we get more of their origin in Hocus Pocus 2, so we'll talk more about it when we talk more about Hocus Pocus 2. But as far as Hocus Pocus 1, we see in the 1600s in Salem, I think it's 1693. They said it's 300 years to the day.
I'm pretty sure that was it, yeah.
So 1693, that they are made up of Winifred, Mary, and Sarah. Winifred is the
Mhm.
oldest, and she's played by Bette Midler. Um, Mary
Fabulous.
Mary is like sort of like the comic relief, but she does this thing with her mouth in the movie that really fucking bugs me the entire time,
It's
and
yeah, it's hard to get past.
it made her the least likable one of them for me. She
She's
also
very
like
funny, but that's hard to get past.
she also likes barking a lot, so I think she's a
Yeah.
furry. Um, um, and then there's Sarah, who is the youngest, and despite their best attempts in the beginning of the movie to affix her with old woman makeup, um, she she's 90s Sarah Jessica Parker. That's her, right? Um,
Yes.
and she's very attractive. And
Ridiculously so.
um, I when we get into like describing these characters more, I'm just gonna be like, I'm sorry, I just simp for Sarah. I can't help it. It's
Yeah.
effective. Um, sort of like the bubbly, airheaded goth girl kind of thing. They were striking a largely untapped market even back in the '90s. So,
Oh yeah, I was all in. Yep.
um, okay, so they were old ladies in 1693, and they're witches. So Sarah, so they all have different jobs. Winifred is the only legitimate threat of the movie. She's
Yeah.
intelligent and very cruel and evil. Um, Mary is sort of like the emotional support to Winifred, who gets easily flustered, and she's sort of the comic relief, and she has the power to sniff out children. Um,
Hmm.
and Sarah lures children in. Um, so they lure in a girl named
And
Emily
she's
Binks.
nuts.
Sarah,
Yeah. Like
yeah, she's
she's just
crazy.
all over the place.
Like she'll sometimes fixate on a word like amuck and just sort of dance around like amuck 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 amuck. She does that in both movies. Um,
Hmm.
and
And she flirts with everyone she sees.
everyone I feel like she doesn't understand. Like I feel like she, you know how polygamists are like, this group of people are all my lovers. I think
Uh-huh.
she takes that to the idea of like, well, yeah, everyone's my lover, right?
Yeah, I think
Like
so.
she just doesn't understand monogamy, I don't think.
No.
um she's very dim, and she's just like, sex feels really good, have you done it? Like, um but so they lure in a girl named Emily Binks, and Emily's brother Thackeray Binks follows her into the woods and sneaks into the witch's cottage as they are brewing a potion. They force her to drink it despite Thackeray's best efforts to fight them off. And they suck the soul out of her body, and they all regain a lot of their youth. Some
Hmm.
more than others. Sarah looks a lot younger than um,
Yes.
Winifred. Even if it was '93, it was still Bette Midler. So
Hmm.
Winifred looks older than the others. Um, but that doesn't stop her. Her ego is so through the roof that she's like, oh, clearly I became the prettiest out of us. And the others are
Yeah.
complete ass kissers for Winifred. So they'll just be like, yeah, you are Winnie. Um,
Hmm.
so they kill Emily Binks, and they decide to punish Thackeray for him trying to stop them by turning him into an immortal cat. And they're like, we're going to force you to not only be able to unable to communicate with others. Jesus, I really fucking botched that sentence. Um,
Hmm.
but you're going to have to live with your guilt of not being able to save your sister. It's really fucked up.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Forcing immortality on someone is a pretty cruel thing
I just realized
overall.
something. Wait, he can't talk to people.
No.
He was trying to like tell his dad that it's him, but he was just meowing. So why the fuck were the kids able to understand him?
Oh, maybe it's one of those heart of a child things. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to acknowledge a massive plot hole. I'm going to say it's the heart of a child.
I'm gonna
Something
have
about purity and imagination.
it just
I'm
dawned on me
running with it.
it was a well hidden enough plot hole that I didn't think of it until just now, but I'm thinking of it
Neither
now.
did I.
Because it's not like they all got hit by magic bolts that now make them understand animals. Max was the only one that got hit with that shit. But like Danny and
Yeah, that's
Allison,
true. If they had like all lit the candle somehow or something, then maybe.
or all
But
got
I'm
hit with
gonna
green bolts.
I'm gonna go with it's something about the heart of a child and imagination.
That's fucking gay.
Get wonder.
Um, whatever. Okay, look. So he gets turned into an immortal cat, and uh, is it just that the townsfolk just fucking barge into their house and fucking snatch them up? Like,
Yeah,
because
I think so.
I think they just get outnumbered, and the townsfolk are like, "Oh, you fucking killed these kids! You're dead, bitches, witches!" And they fucking hang them. And as they're getting ready to hang them, one of them is holding their spell book, and the spell
Did
book
they
was
hang them or
bound
burn them? I can't remember now.
hang. They hung them.
Okay.
I just watched this movie 2 nights ago, and then I watched Hocus Pocus 2 yesterday morning. So
Okay.
very fresh. But they go to hang them, and their spell book, which is alive, it is bound in human flesh, and it has an eyeball on the front. And when the villager that's holding it realizes this, he drops it, and that gives the book a chance to open up to a spell. And Winifred quickly casts this curse, basically, where any virgin who lights the black flame candle under a full moon on Halloween night will resurrect the Sanderson sisters,
Mm.
And then they hang them and they fucking die. It's pretty morbid because you see their feet dangling and everything.
There's a lot of morbid shit in this movie.
And then 300 years later, in 1993, Max is a horny teenager and he's trying to impress cardboard cutout Allison while he's forced to go trick or treating with his sister Danny. And they decide to go to the Sanderson house, which has been turned into a museum. But the museum was shut down because weird shit kept happening. And Black Cat Thackeray Binks is there trying to like ward them away from doing dumb shit. But that doesn't stop Max, who's trying to swing his big old teenage dick around to impress Allison. So he lights the black flame candle. And surprise, surprise, it's a black flame. And he's just like, that ain't normal. And suddenly fucking the floorboards start going crazy and green light starts pulsing underneath. And they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And the Sanderson sisters show up. Like, we're back. Now we're going to fucking eat you. And
Yep.
They are just on the run from the Sanderson sisters throughout the movie. A lot of it is the fish out of water story of the Sanderson sisters trying to.
Yes, and that is the best strength of both of these movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, at one point, they leave their brooms outside, and they don't initially realize they're surrounded by children. Mary is smelling children all over the place, but she's not seeing them because they're seeing little ghosts and gremlins and goblins. And
oh yeah, that's fun.
they don't know that Halloween is a sort of mocking celebration these days, rather than All Hallows Eve, which is a terrifying night. So they don't know kids are wearing costumes, but they leave their broomsticks outside. Of course, a bunch of kids are like, "Cool broomsticks," and they just steal them. And so when they go to fly later, they have to find whatever's close. So Winifred gets an actual broomstick again, but Sarah has to ride on a mop, and Mary has to ride on a vacuum cleaner. And that vacuum cleaner actually gets them killed in this movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But they see an old guy who's dressed as the devil, and they think he's their master. And they go in and they upset this old guy's wife because Sarah's like, "Will you dance with me, master?" And So she just comes down and he's dancing with this much younger girl. And yeah, I don't know. I felt that entire thing was weird anyway. Like, why would you invite strangers, especially old women that you think are trick or treaters, into your house?
Very odd.
The '90s were weird, bro. I was a child through them, so I take no responsibility for how weird things were.
Yeah, I mean, we got Power Rangers starting up in the '90s. That's
Yeah,
crazy
and
stuff happening, man.
when you break it down, Power Rangers is a weird concept. So yeah, I'm just saying, things were different, and because I think it's legitimately because social media wasn't a thing, the internet wasn't a thing, so people really tried forcing any kind of social interaction whenever they could, IRL, and
Mm-hmm.
that was where you had a lot more people like talking to each other, and it was a fucking nightmare. And people inviting relative strangers into their house because how else are you going to befriend a person if you don't spend time with them?
Mm-hmm.
Which you can do in not your fucking house, but whatever. It's also the suburbs, and people were convinced that the only people that did crime was black people,
Yeah.
because that was the '90s. It was a dark time, and so like what other shit did they eat? Oh yeah, um, the kids went to get help from the parents, which '90s action kids movie. You should know that that's not going to work. But they
Yeah,
they
you
went
know your parents won't believe you. That's the type of movie you're in.
to party. Max fucking snatched the microphone from the singer, and the singer's reaction was great. He's just like, "Hey, man, come on! I'm in the middle of a song here." Um, it's like, look,
Yeah,
seriously,
no other like very unrealistically tame reaction.
no, I think it's very realistic because, like, what are you gonna do when like you're singing and some fucking microphone is like, "I have an announcement to make." You're just gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing, you asshole?" But then you still like sort
I
of
mean,
stand back.
I feel like that guy. I mean, there's a band there, and that guy's on the stage, and so that guy's clearly supposed to be there. I don't think my reaction would just be, "Hey, man, come on!" I'm in
Well,
the middle of
well,
a song.
for all you know, he's about to announce a fire or some shit, right? So, like, I feel like
That's
most people
true. That could be.
would at least wait to hear what he's going to say before snatching the mic back.
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
he's like, someone lit the black flame candle. I'm not naming any names here, but it was some virgin, right? And
Some version. I don't know.
they resurrected the Sanderson systems, and they're back. There they are, right there. And the fucking spotlight perfectly like knows who he's talking about and shines the light on
Yeah,
them. And
and then we get the best scene in the movie.
they decide to roll with it because apparently they're fucking thespians. Um, did I say that right? Thespians?
Yep.
They're fucking showman people, and they're just like, "Why, thank you for that introduction, Max." And they fucking get up on the stage and they start like saying the lyrics that of the song that the guy was just singing, um,
Yeah.
and we're suddenly hit with the plot point that they can bewitch you through song. Something was never brought up. No, it was extremely briefly and confusingly brought up in their hanging, where they started like kind of singing or something, and somebody was like, "Oh, shut up! Don't let them sing. Don't listen to them." And we never got clarification of why. But then in this scene, they're like apparently bewitching all of the people to just party until they drop. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but like the kids are like, don't listen to them, cover your ears. But then like they're not even covering their ears half the time. So I'm
Yep.
just like, what are the rules? When was this established? How do you know about this? Like, what? This kind of came out of nowhere again.
Mm-hmm.
um but oh yeah, and then at some point through all this shit, like after initially escaping the witch's cottage, Thackeray, or Binks as they just call him, just like it's like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And they're like, you can talk. He's like, yeah, get over it. Let's go. We got shit to do. And it's just like, okay. And they're very quickly like, yeah, this cat talks.
Yep.
Um,
We get the most disturbing image in this movie to me is
The cat being run
Binks
over.
gets hit by a bus and is flattened. And I
That was
was
one
like,
of
oh
the.
fuck,
There
they
was only
killed Binks, and
there
I
was
was
only
legitimately really upset.
there was only two things I remembered from this movie from when I was a child, and one of them was the
Mhm.
"I'll put a spell on you" scene, and
Yeah,
the other one is the imagery of the cat being like inflated.
fucking flat cat.
Yeah, and it's like
Inflates
they're
back up.
pumping air in him, and he unflattens,
Oh, I hate that image.
and you hear the like bones like clicking back into place.
Yeah,
And he just gets up. He's like, "Ooh, hate it when that happens."
I hate it when that happens.
And he's so nonchalant, but you've definitely just traumatized those children. They probably never saw death before.
That's a good point.
Because like even when it's an animal, the first time you actually see a dead body in front of you can fuck you up. Because it's like you're
Yeah.
aware of death. You're aware of death as a concept, but it's always been at least an arm's length away from you. But
Mhm.
now you're like, death happened in front of me, or at least I see the results of death in front of me. And
Mhm.
now it's suddenly much more real that that will be me someday.
Mhm.
I think the first time I saw a dead body of something was I saw like a dead bird on the ground when I was walking to work when I was like 21, and I just like started hyperventilating a little bit, and I went into work. They're
Wow.
like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah, I just saw a dead animal." And of course, everybody else is like, "Oh yeah, that sucks." But
Pass a dead squirrel every day, kind of thing.
yeah, I was just like, "Sorry, I just avoided dead bodies until now." So that was my first one.
Wow.
Um, yeah, if children listening, because I'm sure there's plenty of you, if you
Yes, I'm
haven't seen
sure.
if you haven't seen a dead animal yet, brace yourself because when you do, it'll you have a moment. You do have a little moment, some more than others, but uh,
And if you see a dead bird, it's okay. It's just out of batteries because we all know that birds aren't real.
shut the fuck up. I thought you were going to be like, it's just the circle of life, and but no, you guys are conspiracy theory. When they die, they become the grass, or when we die, we become the grass, and they eat the
The
grass.
antelope eat the grass.
Yeah, and then we eat the antelope. It's the circle of life.
If I could sing the song, I would. Oh
Nantigwenya.
God.
You know what that means?
It's like lion something. I
It
think
just means there is a lion, and
there's a lion. Yeah.
well, because the song is sung from the perspective of an African boy on a hunt with his father. So, Baba is their word, is like Papa, right? It's their word for father.
Hmm.
Um, so, Nanisi Dudo Baba or whatever, is literally him being like, "Look, father, there is a lion," and it's supposed to be
Interesting.
like the boy like marveling at the majesty of the lion.
Okay. Cool.
Uh, But when you just break it down by lyrics, there is a lion. Look, dad, there's a lion. You're just kind of like, dumb. Anyway, that's a
So
different episode of Cape Corner.
yeah, we'll get to it. So they bewitch the town with the song, and they continue to go after the kids. Is this where we get the big oveny thing in the high school?
Was that in the
Like a big
first
fire
one?
thing. Yeah, it was in the first one. They locked them in the big
Because they
fire
had
thing.
smoke effect, and they wouldn't have ever dared to have an effect that bad in the second one.
Yes.
Um. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, they lured them. That's right, because Max gets on the fucking intercom and is wearing sunglasses and is acting like a goddamn radio DJ. Um.
Yeah, and he claims to be like Boris Karloff or like a relative of Boris Karloff or something. It's a great callback.
Yeah.
Great
Uh,
horror movie reference.
Yeah.
I can't remember
So
exactly what the name was, but it was something
he just
Karloff. It was meant to be a reference
said,
to Boris Karloff.
I'm
It
your
was
host.
great.
He's like, I'm your host, Boris Karloff.
Yeah, something like that.
No, that's it. That's what it was. I watched this movie 2 days ago. Trust me.
Okay. Yeah, it's a
Um,
great reference.
yeah. So, yeah, they lure them into. Okay, but I don't understand. Did they put things in this furnace? Because it's well, they're in a school. Why is there like a giant cremation style furnace
That threw
anyway?
me off. I'm
But also,
I'm told that that's normal.
I've never seen that shit.
I guess you haven't studied the right thing.
It looked like it was like shop class. Like there were shelves with tools and shit, and they put a fucking boombox with some French lessons in there to lure them in. But
Mm-hmm.
but like, did they put things in there? And if so, then that's just property destruction, you dicks.
Yep.
Um, uh, whatever. But regardless, they lure the Sanderson sisters into this fucking furnace, and they crank that shit up, and they burn those motherfuckers. And they're like, "We did it. Job's done." And then they go leave, and then they just go home, and they don't think anything about the fact that their bewitched parents are not home. They're like, I guess they're still partying, but definitely normal partying, not the kind where they can't stop due to a spell, because we
Mm-hmm.
definitely killed
A
those
spell that we
parents.
watched get put on them.
Yeah, that we warned them about. Um, okay, now can I tell you that this is the part of the movie where I thought the ending was going to be something different than it was?
Okay, what do you think?
Okay, so as you know, in the actual ending, they have their big climax in the graveyard, and Danny gets grabbed, but Binks manages to knock the potion out of Winifred's hand, and so Max catches it, and he's like, "Let her go, or I'll drop this potion." And she's like, "Drop that potion, and I'll fucking kill her." And so, with no
Mm-hmm.
other recourse, he's trying to figure out what to do. He just drinks the potion. And he's like, "Now you have to take me instead of her." And so they make the trade. Um, and I thought what was going to happen was that while he was all snuggled up with Allison, they were going to have like a quickie or whatever, like an
Yeah.
off-screen quickie, and that when she went to suck the soul out of him, it wouldn't work, and she'd be like, "What?" And he's like, "Ha, joke's on you. I'm not a virgin anymore." You're like, paying off them constantly talking about him being a fucking virgin, uh,
They should have.
but they didn't, and instead, they got defeated by a vacuum cleaner cord. Um,
Interesting.
uh yeah, so but they're just like snuggling in bed, and it would have been a little bit troublesome if they had a quickie, right? Because like Danny's asleep in the same room. So
Yeah.
but they've also been gross throughout this whole
Bit
movie.
weird for your first time.
Well, they like I'm saying, they've been gross throughout the whole movie with multiple characters, so I figured that they would do it anyway. um
You
Danny is
just have
also
no faith in the 90s.
no, I don't. I was there. I know it was a weird, gross time. You weren't there, man. I was there. I'm having fucking
I
VHS
yeah,
files.
I got airdropped in at the end of that.
Only 90s kids remember Pogs. Uh, fucking Pepsi Blue. But yeah, so Danny is just talking to Binks about how like I'm gonna take care of you as my pet, and then my children will take care of you, and then their children, and then their children. And if I and Binks seems like comforted by this, but if I was that cat, I'd be like, that sounds like a nightmare.
I don't know. I mean, relative to what he's been doing,
I guess.
I'm fine with it. I mean, like if you can't be uncatified and unimmortalized, then at least having the promise of like having a loving family forever
But
is fine.
I don't want weird white suburban families. Like, because you're just going to hear bitching about 401ks and occasional racism.
That's true.
I'd like
Oh
to remind
God,
you, we're both
that
white.
line. That I could not have written a better line.
I just want to remind viewers that we're both white. It's just that we're very
Yes,
aware of what
exceedingly so.
are like, generally speaking.
Yes.
We can't be racist if we're talking about ourselves. Um. So yeah, then the fucking gross green smoke effect gets slurped back into the chimney because the black flame candle is still lit. So
Yeah.
they just get resurrected from the dead again immediately. They're
Mm.
just fine, the Sanderson sisters, and they break out and they're like, "All right, so anyway, back to what we were doing."
Yep.
And um, what does Danny do to piss Winnie off so bad that she's like, "No, I specifically want to kill that fucking kid"?
I don't know.
Because I know they get tricked, right? They drive a truck to the cottage. They captured Danny. They broke into their house, captured Danny, electrocuted Max, knocked him over his drum kit. That looked really fucking painful.
Mm-hmm.
And left. And so Max and Allison grab the car and fucking drive there, and they just blare the headlights in through the windows to trick them into thinking the sun's already up.
Love that.
By the way, I do want to point out that like they were still snuggled in bed. They're like, it's 5 o'clock, and the sun rises around like 6 o'clock. So
It
everything that
depends on the
happens in
time of
there,
year and where you are.
I guess they never say like what part of America they're in, but even if you take
Well,
into
we know
account,
it's Salem.
oh yeah, that's right, Massachusetts. So yeah, like even at the end or the middle of autumn or like the third of autumn, you know what I fucking mean, Halloween, um
Right
you're
about now time.
you're still looking at somewhere around like 6:30.
Really interesting.
I mean, for most places in America, maybe
I
more
guess
mountainous
I
areas.
get to I tend to either sleep through sunrise or get to work before sunrise, so I don't know.
like like starting in like the winter, sunrise is closer to like 7, and then in the middle of winter it's like 7:30.
Okay.
um Generally speaking, again, it depends on your landscape. If you're in a more mountainous area, it might stay darker longer, uh, all that stuff. But uh or like in a city or whatever, because like light is being blocked by more shit. But
Daylight savings being his excuse for why he knows that the sun rises at this very specific time.
like
It's
they don't know
very
what that
funny.
is. Benjamin
Yeah, they
Franklin
don't know. They have no way to call that bluff, and it's brilliant. I
yeah,
love it.
um he would just say some like dumb shit, and they would just be like, "What is that?" Oh yeah, like his first thing was just holding the lighter to the sprinkler system, and he was like, "Feel my magical fury, burning rain of death." And then they're just like,
Yeah,
listen to this fucking goober. And then it started raining on them. They were just like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!"
yeah. They thought they were gonna die. It's awesome.
Yeah. Um, but they uh, they wind up in the. Oh yeah, by the way, they've been being chased by a zombie for half the movie. Winnie resurrects who she claims was her lover. Um, and the story is that Billy Butcherson.
You good?
Yeah. There's a smoke alarm going off outside.
Okay. I'm
It's
sure
not.
you'll be fine.
It's nothing to worry about. It was happening. It was happening last night because they were doing the fog machine for the Halloween party.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
so I think they're trying to set the smoke alarm back up, and it's being
Makes
finished.
sense.
But anyway, um,
I'm off yesterday by leaving bacon in the oven a little bit too long.
That would happen in New York when I would cook fish. The fish oil would drop to the bottom of the oil,
Nice.
bottom of the oven. Uh, fuck. What was I saying?
Billy.
Oh yeah, Billy Butcherson was said to be Winifred Sanderson's lover, but he cheated on
Yeah.
her with Sarah. And good move.
I fucking love the reveal of the second movie.
Yeah. He was like, I kissed
The
her
second
once.
movie makes that so much funnier.
Yeah. And so in a fit of jealousy for him banging Sarah, she fed him poison, sewed his mouth shut, so that they say in the first movie, so that even in death he couldn't tell her secrets. And it's clear that the secret is that they were never lovers.
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah. Um, but she resurrects him and is like, fucking chase after them. And he's like, oh, you bitch, whatever. I guess this is what I'm doing now. Yeah, it's clear he never wants to, but like the second he gets a hold of a knife, and he's like got Max right there. So Max, he just cuts the bindings of his mouth. It's just immediately like, you hag, you fucking gross bitch. Like he doesn't say that. You know? And
He
he's just
should have.
like,
That would have been way cooler.
he's just like, I'm not helping you. In fact, I'm gonna help kill you. Um,
And then
so
he says,
Billy,
I'm a good zombie.
yeah, Billy is like, he's great. Like
I love Billy.
it's not the first time I've seen like a fairly benevolent zombie. I watched Big Bad Beetleborgs, but
Uh-huh.
um, have you ever seen that? Another thing about it.
I have not.
It is a Sentai, much like Power Rangers, except in the American version, their base of operations is a haunted house.
Cool.
Like this, I'm sure we'll do an episode on Big Bad Beetleborg someday. But to quickly give you the idea, the Big Bad Beetleborgs are a comic book series that these three kids really like, and when they accidentally wander into a haunted house, they release a ghost named Flabber, who, imagine if like Beetlejuice was constantly doing an Elvis impersonation. Um, and Flabber is like, well, you saved me, so I'll grant you a wish. And they're like, we want to be Beetleborgs. And he's like, done. And so he just makes the comic powers come to life.
Nice.
Like a genie or whatever. Anyway, so uh Billy's cool. They have their like final thing in the graveyard because it's hollowed ground. So the witches apparently can't be on it. Um and I guess what happens is they turn into statues if they are.
I guess.
Because I don't think that was part of her dying, because the other two just exploded, and then her statue exploded.
Mm-hmm.
The statue was about being in the graveyard. But anyway, so they're quote unquote broomsticks, they're flying around because they can't touch down, which is why they initially resurrected Billy, because he can walk through there.
Yeah.
But after Max drinks the potion, when he like grabs him up and flies into the air, and he like pushes off her, and he grabs the end of her broomstick, and so he's dead. And she's struggling to like keep the broomstick steady, but also reach down to suck the soul out of him because he's drank the potion. But she's got to like physically like kill really hard.
Yeah.
Help. And so Mary goes to try and help her, but she's dangling the vacuum cord behind her. So
Yep.
The other three, Danny, Allison, and Billy, just grab the cord. And so she's just like stuck in place. And Sarah goes to try and help Mary. And they're just held off long enough from these unfortunate sets of circumstances that eventually the sun comes up. It's no longer Halloween, so they fucking explode. Not before. I think Binks does one more jump up there and hits Winnie, and he like falls and hits a fucking rock or something. It was
Yeah.
clearly took a fatal blow, and so she hits the ground. Max hits the ground. She's like trying to get up, but she like grabs Max by his fucking shirt and lifts him up. So she's strong. It's scary, but she turns into a weird fucking statue, and then all three of them explode and die. And they're like,
Yep.
we did it. We saved the world from the Sanderson sisters.
The
However,
end.
apparently a young boy happened to see these events, see the Sanderson sisters fly through the air on that Halloween night in 1993, and that would change his life as well as the lives of some future teenagers. And before we
Yep.
talk about that, we're going to have an ad break.
Oh, well placed.
Thank you. All right, I'm getting good at this. I constantly say that. Not I am good at this, just I'm getting there.
He's getting there.
So it's taken 3 seasons. Okay, so Hocus Pocus 2. Again, I think Hocus Pocus 1 was fine, right? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't really good. Hocus Pocus
I
2
do
was
think
really good.
2 is the better movie. Yeah.
It is. And apparently a lot of people are bitching because they either thought it was also going to take place in the 90s and be like Stranger Things filled with nostalgia, or they were like, it's different. No fucking shit, it's different. It's a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the same movie, watch the same movie.
Yep.
But
right there on Disney Plus.
What's the guy's name? Malcolm? No, Gilbert.
I don't remember. I'm bad with all the names other than the sisters.
I remember Becca, and I can't remember the Trask girl's first name. It's like Cassandra or some shit. Hang on. Who the fuck was William? Who is this guy? Oh wait, Billy? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Wow. That's wild. Yeah, Gilbert. Gilbert the Great. So in 1993, a young boy named Gilbert saw the Sanderson sisters fly, and he became obsessed with them. And so he turned the old Sanderson shack into a magic shop. Right? Is that what happened? Was that still their shack?
I'm pretty sure that's what. Yeah, that's still the same building.
Okay, but now I guess they've developed more around it because it's just in the middle of the city.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. So, let me see. Becca, Izzy, and Cassie. That's their names. Okay, so they're like the new trio. Becca, Izzy, and Cassie were friends growing up, and they liked to pretend that they were witches. They would do a birthday ritual with Becca where they would watch spooky movies and have a little seance and whatnot. It's very cute, teenage girl kind of thing. But Cassie has recently gotten a boyfriend. The boyfriend's name is Mike. Mike is dumb as hell, and I kind of love him. He's a football player that is just stupid. And
that's fun.
What I really appreciate about him is that they didn't go. Oh, by the way, we forgot to mention the first movie. We're just caged up, and I don't know. Maybe they fucking died in those cages. Like they never went back for him that we saw. So
they might have.
He did steal the shoes back from Ice though, so that's great.
Yep. And left him there.
Yeah. Well, what's really funny, because I didn't mention those bullies and I should have. When I first saw them, I thought that they might be friends, because like the guy with the long hair is like hey, what's up, man? This is our spot, but isn't like being threatening about it or anything. And so
Hmm.
I was literally imagining you'd be like, oh, hey, what's up? Sorry, I didn't know this was your spot. What's up here? And they could have like a fucking conversation or whatever. But no, I like while those two were seeming to vibe just fine, it was Ice. It was like, we gotta bully him, man.
Yep,
And the other guy's just like, oh, okay.
that's funny.
Um, but yeah, yeah. So Mike doesn't have a similar um bullying kind of thing. He oh my fucking god. Can you hear that?
Yeah, what is that?
That's the fucking children I live with screaming. Okay, they stop. Jesus. Anyway,
is
uh
is is Cassie the one that gets written out for like a third of the movie?
yes.
Okay.
Um because Mike is unknowingly sort of picking on Becca and Izzy. And here's the thing. I don't even agree that he was unintentionally picking on them. Because he's like, they're like, well, you say that we're doing witchcraft and that we're weird, and he's like, that's because you're doing witchcraft and you're weird. And I read that as like being weird doesn't necessarily mean bad. I'm not mocking you for being weird.
Yeah,
But
that's how I read that.
uh, but then she's like doubles down and is like, Mike, if you're calling somebody out on how they're different, then that is picking on them. And he's like, it is? Oh
I
God.
like his reaction to that. I love that so much.
Like I've got to apologize to so many people.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah. Um, but again, I don't agree that that is picking on them because he never really did anything to her. She was just jealous that he was monopolizing the time of her friend. But again, she never went to Mike and was like, Mike, I want to spend some time with my friend.
Hmm.
Or to Cassie and be like, I want to spend time with you, not your boyfriend. And
Yeah,
we realized that there was this miscommunication. So I feel like Mike got caught in crossfire that he wasn't even aware he was in.
yeah, that's fair
Um,
enough.
um, but and she definitely was antagonizing Mike. Like she was saying like
Yeah,
vegan foods under her breath, and it sounded like ominous chanting, and it freaked him out because he's
that was
clearly afraid of magic.
hilarious. That was well done. I like that a lot.
And look, I like Becca, but she was definitely being disingenuous because uh uh he was like she was saying words that were freaking me out, and the teacher is like, is this true? And she was like looking at Cassie to comfort her, and Cassie was like, look, to be fair, it did sound like you said Satan. She's like, no, I said Satan. It's a vegan food. I was only listing vegan foods. It's like you clearly knew that Satan sounds like Satan.
Yeah, that was very deliberate.
Yeah, so like you're kind of in the wrong there. But anyway, and it's not. And to be clear, that's not a criticism. It's good.
Yeah,
I again like characters that are imperfect and that have to like have arcs.
yeah, it's fun.
um, and they're teenagers. They shouldn't be perfect, regardless. So, yeah, what you said earlier, the group dynamic in this is much better because not only do they feel like more realistic, fleshed out characters. Izzy just screaming "Nope" when the ground started cracking was the most realistic shit for me.
Yep.
Um,
Oh yeah.
but uh,
And I like
there's
that they just quickly touch on when they light it and like something starts to happen. What's going on? They just go Virgin Candle and Full Moon Halloween. They just very quickly put it together.
yeah,
Like, yeah, okay, this is bad. We're in
yeah.
trouble.
Oh shit, this is real. We fucked up. To be fair, they didn't fuck up. They definitely got tricked
Yes, they got tricked.
by Gilbert, who just really wanted to resurrect the Sanderson sisters because he's a big old simp. Um,
Yep.
and he
Probably
made
for
the most of
Sarah.
that because they yeah. I mean, obviously, what is he going to fucking marry? Like, come on. I feel like I'm being very mean-spirited to that actress. Like, I just think that the mouth did was weird, okay?
It was just a bit distracting, but
It's
otherwise
also
she did
apparently, like, for hardcore Hocus Pocus fans, people have pointed out that she did her mouth in the opposite direction. Um, and
Oh,
apparently
that's funny.
she's gone on record to be like, yeah, I can't do my mouth the original way anymore. I think I just did it so much that I fucked up my facial.
That's sad and interesting.
I don't think it's sad. You can't make this one very specific, stupid-looking face.
Yeah, okay.
Like the
It's an
rest of her
interesting
face.
explanation, though. I did not expect that to be the explanation.
Yeah. So she can do it. She just had to do it in the opposite direction.
Interesting.
But people noticed. But yeah. So he like the girls used to be a trio. Cassie started dating Mike, and because of miscommunication, even though both sides clearly wanted to keep spending time with each other, their friendship like drifted apart. And
Yeah.
but Izzy and Becca kept going to Gilbert's magic shop, and he gave them a special candle to light for their birthday, and it was a black flame candle, and he just didn't fucking tell them. Um, and later on, they're like, "I can't believe that you gave us a black flame candle," and he's like, "Well, it was the only way that I could see the Sanderson sisters again." And they're like, "Well, why couldn't you do it?" And he just kind of like smirks at them for a second, and they're like, "Oh,
That was great. They just blew past that, and it was so good.
It's like, I got laid. But yeah, this is what I was saying. Like, there's a bit in this movie where in the beginning he's telling the legend of the Sanderson sisters and the events of Hocus Pocus 1.
Mhm.
And like in that movie, he brings up virginity multiple times. And so at the end, there's this kid that's clearly like 6 or something, and it's like, what's a virgin? And he's just like, a virgin is someone who's never lit a candle before.
That was good.
And
I
you
like
see
that.
like one of the parents kind of nod, like, all right, good. You worked your way out of that.
Good save. I'm happy.
Yeah. But yeah, like, because that, I don't know if you know, that was like a real world issue when Hocus Pocus came out. Is a bunch of children, their parents what virgins were, and it was
Yeah, of course. It was the most common word in that script.
Like, I mentioned the other day, I was like, I'm sure when I first watched it, I was like, what's a virgin? Is it something to do with olive oil? And my mom was probably just like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yes, it's olive oil. Just move on, please.
But yeah, so he tricked them, and then the Sanderson sisters show up to the magic shop because it's, again, their old house. And
Yeah.
Sarah laments the lack of rat tails being tucked away in safe places, which, look, to be fair, why the fuck was that rat tail still there after 300 years anyway? It got turned into a museum. Did nobody bother cleaning the fucking place? It wasn't even
Yeah, that is odd.
up. It was barely on top of the lowest rafter. She could reach up and grab it.
Yeah.
Not one person.
Yeah, it definitely was something that probably should have been cleaned away in those 300 years.
Nobody dusted in 300 years?
I guess not. Maybe they just wanted to keep the authentic weirdness in the place the first time around.
In fact, in Hocus Pocus 2, they complain that their place doesn't smell bad anymore, which implies to me that they never even used Febreze or anything in the place in the first movie, 300 years later.
I'll buy that. They wanted, whoever was running the place in the 90s wanted to keep the authentic bizarreness of the place, and then whoever owned it later actually cleaned it up.
I think you can get away with that, though. In the 90s, health inspectors were a thing.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm thinking of this as someone who was...
They were bribed. I have an elaborate headcanon to this.
we have to now deal in Hocus Pocus 3 with the Shadow Society that was bribing people to let loose
Bribing
in
off health
security.
inspectors for that 300 years.
That's the next plot. Um, no, okay, real quick, talking about Hocus Pocus 3, because there's an end credits scene for Hocus Pocus 2, so they're clearly going to make another one, and there's apparently talks that it's going to be animated, and that's cool and all. Can we not
Sure.
have the Sanderson sisters again? I know that like they showed another Black Flame candle, but
I mean, they're the plot though.
here's the
I don't
problem.
know. I don't know what you do without them for a third.
Then don't make a third, because this was a perfect send off for them.
I agree. I don't think they should. I,
I'm
I kind of like to think that the post credit is just one of those, and then things might happen later, but don't worry about it. This is
I was
the end of the
imagining if they
story.
make a Hocus Pocus 3, it'll be about the new coven.
Okay, so that would be fun. I really liked ending the second one with them becoming a coven and the way they
Yeah.
were doing the walk at the
The
end
stupid
of the
fucking
movie. It
walk.
made me happy.
And
It was
even they
nice.
laughed like this is a stupid fucking walk we're doing.
That was so cute.
Yeah. They really hit even more on the fish out of water stuff for Hocus Pocus 2 with the Sanderson sisters. Them being in
Way
fucking
more and way funnier.
yeah, them being in Walgreens and drinking facial cream and stuff because they think that it'll make them look younger because it's
The
got
little face mask. Look, it's the severed face of a baby.
yeah. They're like, oh, they've pre-harvested the souls of children and already infused them into the potions for you. And the others are like, wow, that's so convenient. And then Sarah's just like, oh, I mean, that's cool. That was kind of my one job. But
Yeah, she's upset.
she's like, that was my thing, man. They took my job.
The best fish out of water gag in the entire movie to me is the Alexa bit.
Yeah, they're like, they trapped a tiny woman in that box.
Brilliant.
Just them being terrified of mundane things is great. Um,
Yeah.
oh, we didn't even mention Hocus Pocus 2 opened with an entire 12-minute segment about the backstory of how the Sanderson sisters
Yeah, about
became.
how they became a coven. That's cool.
It's great. They met another witch who had already lost her coven and sensed the blooming of evil within Winnie and granted her book. Um, and they decided to take revenge, and so they burned down the mayor's house. And they then just spent years luring children from Salem. And Salem in the beginning of Hocus Pocus 2 looked much more like a thriving city than in the beginning of Hocus Pocus 1. So, what was it? It was 1653 and then 1693. So 40 years later, I think that the Sanderson sisters have just devastated Salem to a point where there's barely anyone living there anymore.
That's a good headcanon. I like it.
Because it looked like there was a lot less buildings, a lot more open space.
Yeah. I'll accept it.
So I feel like people are more spread out because there's just not as many people now.
Also, the mayor, played by Tony Hale, always a win. Tony
I
Hale
don't
is
know
a
that
treasure
guy.
every time he appears anywhere. Have you ever seen Arrested Development?
No.
Okay. It's a great sitcom. He plays Buster Bluth, and he is hilarious, and I love him.
I have the Wikipedia page open for the casting, so I'm going to look at Tony Hill right now. The Informant, In My Sleep, Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Trip, great. Clifford the Big Red Dog, The Tale of Despero, Angry Birds Movie, Angry Birds Movie 2, Toy Story 4. I haven't watched any of these fucking movies, so.
Nice. I liked it in this movie. We get a dramatically improved and larger scope version of the singing a song to enchant the town sequence.
Yeah, they did one way or another.
Yeah, they did it bigger and better and with this ludicrously catchy tune. And
well,
I
because
liked it.
they made the song for the first movie, right?
No, it's an old song. They just repurposed it and changed some of the lyrics
Oh, I've never heard it like
for the
outside of it.
first movie.
So
But But yeah, then to use one way or another for the sequel, which is so catchy. There's a reason they used it on all the Swiffer commercials because you can't get it out of your head.
Is that why she's on a Swiffer in this movie?
That might be a deliberate callback. It's a Swiffer wet jet replacing.
And it fucking bubbles while she flies.
Yeah, and the Roombas. The Roombas
Yes.
is top tier callback to the vacuum from the first movie, and a brilliant Chekhov's gun when they come and eat the salt
I was
circle.
gonna say the Roombas were the MVP because
Yeah,
if it weren't for
that's
them,
true. The vacuum got them killed in the first one, and it's
the
the vacuum saved them in the sequel.
if it weren't for the Roombas, they would have just been trapped in that salt trap, which that
Yeah,
was a fucking grade A maneuver. Like when I say that these kids are way more competent than the fucking the trio from the first movie, like they lured them into this attic. Two of them were hidden, both prepped with salt, and they immediately jump out and just start circling them and pour a circle of salt around them.
yeah, it's brilliant.
It was really good. Like that was the best move you could make, legitimately. Again, if they hadn't have happened to have fucking enchanted some Roombas, then then they would have just had them beat. And
Mm-hmm.
they chill out until sunrise.
There's some
Um,
peak Chekhov's gun shit, and I really approved.
hey, I finally
It's
found
just,
something that I've watched that I know this guy from.
oh yeah,
He's
what is it?
he's Dr. Psycho from Harley Quinn.
Oh yes, I forgot. I completely forgot that he voices Doctor Psycho.
He was also wait, what?
What?
I saw Weird Al Yankovic and Eat It, so I was assuming he was like a background guy in the original video for Eat It. But it specifically says 2020 David Cross featuring Weird Al Yankovic. David Cross did a cover of Weird Al's cover of Beat It.
That's very interesting. And David Cross is also in Arrested Development.
And also in Alvin and the Chipmunks movie.
I guess they're friends. Shown up in a bunch of places together.
Yeah, hang on. I got a David Cross.
You need to know what this is now.
Well, that's the fucking "We're all in this together" video from 2020. That sucks. Don't want that. Maybe it's on the official David Cross channel. 2020. I got. Wow, he does not use his YouTube channel much. I don't see it. What
Okay,
the fuck?
I'm gonna need to be wrapping up soon. Do you want to hit the ending?
Yeah. Um. Okay. He did do it as part of the okay, whatever. I can't focus on that. So the fucking ending. It turns out Becca's a witch. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
she has legit magic. It's awesome.
It gave me Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost vibes with one of
Interesting.
from the Hex Girls being a Wiccan.
Yeah.
Uh, oh
The
man,
end of this movie actually got to me. I don't
it did.
remember if I actually cried. At least nearly cried. I might have cried. Can't remember.
I cried a little.
It got me.
Okay, here's my theory. I think in the first Hocus Pocus, Bette Midler was like, this isn't going to be a big role for me. I can just ham it up and I don't have to take it too seriously. But
Mm-hmm.
then it became a Halloween classic. And so for the sequel,
Yeah.
she was like, I have to stay in character. So I'm going to continue hamming it up. But this time, I am going to bust out a little bit of my acting chops at the ending.
Yeah.
And she did.
Oh yeah.
She went through the stages of grief in front of us because it wasn't just like immediately like, oh, my sisters. No, she was like laughing and reminiscing about times with them and realizing she took them for granted and treated them badly. And it was very upsetting because she was tired of being tricked by teenagers and having to constantly be resurrected from the dead. So she was just like, fuck this. we're using the spell that makes you an all-powerful witch. And
Yeah, the spell you're never supposed to use.
she was so eager to use it, she didn't read the warning that you have to give up what you love most. And so after successfully casting it, and like the new coven of Cassie, Becca, and Izzy runs in, and she's like, haha, you're too late. I'm all powerful. I can fuck you up now. And they don't look scared. They're just sad. And she's like, what? What's with you? And she's like, you didn't read the warning. And then Mary and Sarah just start turning into dust. And they say the same ending lines, the fucking bye bye and then goodbye. As how they died in the first movie. By the way, the first movie is in the second movie. Did you notice that?
Oh yes, I did. That's very weird.
The Satan scene. A couple of guys are just watching it.
That's pretty funny.
But anyway,
which I guess we have to assume that in universe, the events of that night were so interesting that someone made a movie about it with actors who look an awful lot like this. Because we also know that everyone knows what they looked like because there is a pretty accurate Sanderson sister costume contest going on that night.
Yeah.
So they are part of pop culture, at least of this area.
I like the different versions of the Sanderson sisters, by the way. There's like a drag group.
Yeah, it was fun. The drag group of the Sanderson sisters is great.
Mary went up to a Mary cosplayer that was clearly a bearded man and was just like, is that supposed to be me? Because I look good.
Yeah, we think she's going to be offended.
Yeah, but you got to remember, they're fucking gross weirdos, so they love it.
Yeah, that was great. So Mary and Sarah disappear.
And Winnie is very distraught about that. And she's just like, isn't there anything that can be done to reverse it? I'll give up this power. I'll do whatever. I need my sisters. And
very powerful.
And Book clearly takes pity because Book switched sides. Book was like, I'm tired of you guys like using and abusing me and not caring about what I want. And he fucking went to the new coven. So he takes pity on them, opens up. The new coven, the teenage girls cast a spell, a spell of reunion, and Winnie's all happy, and then she starts turning into dust, and Becca is sadly like, the spell doesn't bring them back, it sends you to them. And I half expected Winnie to be like, teenagers tricked me again, brah, but she just sort of like sadly smiles, and she's just like, thank you, and then she does one.
That was such a perfect ending that she's okay with that.
Yeah, because she gets to be with her sisters again. And they've been dead before. It's not like that's new.
Yeah, it's not.
So it basically ends with like the friends have made up. They've defeated the threat of the Sanderson sisters. They're a new witch coven because they found out that the reason why Winnie was the one always casting the spells is that she was the only one with like her own magic power. The other two were like support because witches are meant to share power with their coven. So Becca is the only witch, but she still shares power with Cassie and Izzy. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So they walked off in the night, decided that they're going to continue being friends, continue doing magic shit. And after credits, we see the black cat that is not Thackeray Binks. Oh yeah, by the way, his soul went on to find his sister again. That was nice. But this cat Cobweb is Gilbert's cat, and we didn't even mention Gilbert had a bromance with Billy in this movie.
Yeah, and then he betrays him, and it was sad.
Yeah,
and then
he's like, I'll make sure everybody knows your true story, Billy, that you weren't Winifred's lover.
Yeah.
And
that's great. Such a good reveal.
Because Billy has just been sleeping for 29 years.
Yeah.
This movie. Because
he's been aware. He's been aware of the passage of time. He's just been like, yeah, I'm just going to hang out here.
I guess even though they died in well, okay, here's another plot hole I'm dealing with now. I was assuming that they died in the first movie, but the spells that they cast, like on Billy, weren't broken. Well, no, because Thackeray was broken, and the spell on the parents was broken, but the spell on Billy wasn't broken. And I
Yes.
assume that was just
Right.
because there still being black flame candle material, which Gilbert used to make new candles. But if that was the case, then Billy still shouldn't have dissolved at the end of this movie because there's another black flame candle.
Interesting. Hmm.
I'm calling
I don't
Hocus
know.
Pocus on all of its flaws.
I don't.
I got your number, fucking Disney. Buena Vista, whoever did this first movie. Oh yeah, it was Disney back then too. That's right. Okay,
Yeah.
so, okay, I would give Hocus Pocus 2 more like an 8 out of 10. It was a really good movie. It was a big step up from the first movie.
I loved it.
Anybody who says that they don't like it is just being a nostalgia blind motherfucker. Deal with it.
Mm-hmm.
Things are different. That being said, you can join the Cape Corner Discord. We will take suggestions for episodes if anybody wants to give any. We sometimes have polls, not very often, but sometimes. I've been known to do it, and you can vote on those polls for whatever upcoming episodes will be. You can support me at Anchor. It works just like Patreon. You can follow me at Twitter at Cape Corner. Hey, Twitter's owned by Elon Musk now, and the N word has never been used more.
Yep.
I just want to point out that if anyone thinks billionaires are neutral, they're not. They are scum.
They're not. They're
Musk.
not.
Sorry, had to get a political rant in here. But until I decide to go back to Tumblr, you can follow me on Twitter at Cape Corner. My personal Twitter is at BeyondBlue13. Jordan, they can find your personal Twitter at Jordan Blueman, or your podcast at Fandom Optimists. And speaking of podcasts, you can check out the link tree in the description for the Hall of Pods podcast network. My friends and partners are all really cool. Jordan is one of them. What do you have any plans on what you're doing for Fandom Optimists this week?
You know what? I probably should have come up with one, but I recorded a Black Adam review last week and then forgot to post it until yesterday. So that's this week's episode.
Okay.
And I'll do something else next week. Probably Tales of the Jedi. Don't know who I'm getting for that yet. We'll see what's going on.
Okay.
But yeah, to consider this week's episode a Black Adam review featuring the Keen Machine, a friend of mine that I met over at the Jump on the Batwagon podcast. We had a lot of fun talking about Black Adam.
Nice. Well, everybody, feel free to give that a listen. And share this episode with a friend. I know one of you motherfuckers watches Hocus Pocus, because there's only like 2 of you that listen to this.
And I know at least one of you has a friend who hasn't listened to this episode.
Yeah. Get on it. Share this episode. I'm trying to gain notoriety here. And I know that if you're listening to this at this point in time, you know me on a personal level, so help your boy out.
We're trying to go from 2 consistent listeners to like 5 or 6 consistent listeners. That's the goal right now.
Yeah. All right. Everybody, thank you for listening. Stay strong. Stay true to yourselves. And remember, we can all be heroes. Have a happy Halloween.
I was going to say, remember, we can all be witches.
And if you can't be a witch, you can be a bitch. That's my life motto.
Well done.
Thank you.